Hey everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about a few things. The number one thing being one of the best ways that you can either start or end your day. So last week, I talked a little bit about mindfulness and how things like affirmations and journaling can help you with mindfulness. And then I also showed you the book that I wrote, just kind of as a way to maybe inspire some of you to spend some of this time that we've had under the COVID stay at home, shelter in place for most of the states. And one thing that I wanted to share with you is that book is now out. I got my box of books last Saturday. And it's really, really, so the interesting thing is that I struggled writing this and I procrastinated on it for years because there's a lot of me and my struggles in my life and things that I, really had a hard time, difficult time with in my life. But it also has a lot of really great ways that, you can learn to kind of take control of yourself. I was talking to somebody today about it, and I've been on my personal development journey for 18 years. It'll be 19 years this year. And over those 19 years, I've learned a lot of stuff. I've taken a lot of courses. I've watched a lot of teachers. I've read a lot of books. And this person I was talking to today, he said that, he listens to some people speaking, we'll say, people like the Dalai Lama or Thich Nhat Hanh. And he says he has a difficult time trying to understand or really get the meaning of what they're saying. And I told him that I completely understand because, I listen to them now and I get everything that they're saying, every little nuance and everything that, every meaning that they're trying to convey. But somebody who's new to, we'll say, Buddhist teachings, it's really, really difficult for them to understand where these people are coming from that are talking. And so one of the things that I had decided to do, so this person that I was talking to told me he wanted to learn more about mindfulness, and I gave him the book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Now, he's had this book for months, probably 6 months, and he's only made it halfway through because The Power of Now is a pretty in-depth book. There's a lot of information in there to try and digest. And I'm not saying that's not a bad book. It's an amazing book. But it can be very, very off-putting to somebody who's really starting on their journey to try and evolve to be the best version of themselves possible. So what I decided to do when I wrote my book, or when I started writing my book, was to take little bits of all of the things that I have done throughout my 18 years of transformation and just write short little chapters to make it easy to digest and easy to read and easy to understand. And then each chapter has an action step so that, you can take what you learn in the chapter and implement it in your daily life. Now, not everything in the book will be something that everybody will find useful, beneficial, or even relevant to their life. And that's fine because, not everything is relevant to everybody. Everybody has their own things that they're going through. Everybody has their own struggles. Everybody's going down their own path. And everybody's journey is different. Everybody sees things different ways. I just wanted to share the things that help me the most in my transformation into becoming who I am today, and hope that it benefits somebody. At least, if one chapter implemented in your life makes one positive change, then I've done my job and my work is complete. So that was why I did the book that I did. And so one of the things that I want to talk about today, and it's actually in the book, it's chapter, let me get to the pages here. Let's see. Chapter 27, page 111. It's only 158 pages, and it's really big print. So, page 111 is 2.5 pages long. So it's really not a lot. But it's practicing gratitude. Now, a practice that I have, sometimes I fall away from it, and sometimes I fall back. And it's, having a gratitude journal and a gratitude jar. So for Christmas this past year, I tried to make something. And not only make something, but make something meaningful to give to people for Christmas. And I just got it in my head that I needed to give everybody gratitude jars. So I made up like 50 gratitude jars, and I went and I got some really pretty colorful paper, and I cut it up, and then I wrapped it up with some ribbon, and I put the paper inside the jars so that people would actually, they wouldn't have any excuse to not use the gratitude jar. I didn't want to buy journals because I wanted to actually make something. And so I felt that the jar was a lot better, because the jar is nice because you got a jar that's sitting there and it's got a bunch of different colorful pieces of paper folded up in there, and you can look and you can see, because they're clear jars, you can see all the different pieces of paper folded up in there. And every time you look at it, and if you see, the stacks getting a little higher, you can think about just how tremendously blessed your life really is, because you have all these things to be grateful for. And you can either create a gratitude jar, or you can have a gratitude journal. So I have a gratitude journal, and this one, what I try to do, and you can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening. This is on my nightstand beside my bed. And then on the front cover, I wrote, like, what am I grateful for? And every day I try to write 5 things that I'm grateful for. And I try really, really hard not to repeat, so like I can't put French fries down more than once, right? I mean, because if you're not grateful for French fries, I don't know what world you live in, because French fries are pretty cool and they're pretty good. But I try to, write things that I have in my life that other people would probably kill for. And it, whenever I'm feeling down, or I feel like I'm missing out on something, or something like COVID-19 hits and you're stuck at home and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I can't figure out what to do. And then you start thinking, so like I'm in Michigan, and there's all these people in Michigan that are just getting really, really upset with the governor, and they're doing stupid stuff like going out protesting. And again, I'm not trying to be political, but I think some people just completely lose sight of what's truly important. And what's truly important is the safety of everybody. And it's important that we take personal responsibility to make sure that we are not the cause for someone else's suffering. So it's bad enough if we're the cause for our own suffering, which we all are, but to be the cause of someone else's suffering is something else entirely. And we need to strive to live lives so that we are not the cause of other people's suffering. And then we can start working on fixing our own suffering. So doing what we can to try and be personally responsible. Anyway, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But anyway, so in this gratitude journal, if you're stuck inside and you're trying to like figure out, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of life? Why are we doing this? Blah, blah, blah. This sucks. My life sucks. There's a lot of stuff that sucks. There's a lot of stuff that sucks. It's just a fact. Life just sucks. It really does. But you have to just live with it, or not, one of the two. And we really hope that you choose to live with it and not to not live with it. But with the gratitude journal, if you're writing down 5 different things every day that you're grateful for, whenever you're feeling down, if you sit there and you go back through and you just think about like all these things that, are, really amazing that are in your life that, we take a lot of stuff for granted. Oh my gosh, we take so much for granted. We live in an amazing country in the United States of America. Well, at least that's where I am. I'm in the United States of America. We have so many liberties and so many freedoms. And yeah, okay, there's a lot of stuff that's backwards, but there's a lot of stuff other places that's far more backwards than what we are right now. So, we have electricity, we've got clean, fresh water available at any time, clean, fresh water. There are so many people in the world that don't have that luxury. They don't have indoor plumbing. They don't have toilet paper. It's not available. They can't even go purchase it because they don't have money, because it's either food or toilet paper. What do you think you want to have more? What's more important, food or toilet paper? Food. So they just we're so great, we have so much to be grateful for, but we lose sight of all the things that we have in our life that we should be grateful for. So, doing these and just writing everything down and then going over them whenever, you're feeling down or you're just feeling depressed or, something is going on. So, I recommend that while everybody's going through this shelter in place during COVID-19, that you find some paper and just start writing all the things that you're grateful for, all the people that you're grateful for. I had someone today order 2 books from me, and he asked me to sign them and send them to him. And in his, I wrote that, I counted him as as a blessing, because he's been an amazing person. He's so generous and so thoughtful and always so nice and kind. And I'm just so grateful to know him. So I truly count him as a blessing, because there are a lot of people in the world who aren't nice, who aren't generous, who aren't kind. And I truly appreciate that. And I wanted him to understand. And, you can take some time and write letters to people, get some cards. I've got a few here, just you can go and get blank cards, just little blank cards from the store that have nothing in there. And then just, write to people. Just send a letter to somebody. You can get stamps at the grocery store. Every grocery store has stamps available for sale at the registers. All you gotta do is ask for them. If you didn't know that, you can get stamps at the grocery store. Because that's what I did. I went to the grocery store about 2 weeks ago, and I got some stamps. I know the mail's running a little slow, but I'm thankful for the U.S. Postal Service. I'm thankful that they're still delivering mail. They're still providing an essential service, and they're out there doing everything that they can to make sure that we get our junk and our bills, even though we don't want our bills. But, write a note to somebody. Tell them how grateful you are for them. Something, remind them of something nice that they did for you. Remind them of, how nice they made you feel at some point in time. I can tell you from personal experience that when somebody tells you how much you appreciate them, or something that you did that they appreciate, it makes you feel so much better about your life. So going through and writing down all the things that you're grateful for, it really makes you feel a lot better, and it makes you realize that there really is so much in your life that is really great, that's going great, regardless of the situation, regardless of how dreary or how bleak or how dire things may seem. You know, the government is trying as hard as they can with, or to the best of their abilities, to try and make sure that people are taken care of, so that, we don't have an issue with people losing their houses, or, not losing their cars because of this. And I think that's very commendable. I think we should, feel grateful that the government, as flawed as it is stepping up and trying to do something. Yeah, okay, it's crazy, and yeah, that's going to cause all kinds of issues and all this other stuff. But you know what? There are some people that live in places that don't have that benefit. So we're fairly grateful. We're fairly lucky to be where we are. But anyway, so just start writing down things that you're grateful for. Get a jar. You can pick up jars, and they've got canning stuff out now. I don't know why, because you can't be canning in like April. There's really nothing to be canning, but the stores have canning stuff available. So get yourself a canning jar, and just get some paper and fold it up and cut it up into little pieces and write little things on there that you're grateful for, and fold it up and then toss it in there, and then just watch the pile get higher and higher. That's actually really gratifying to see this jar that you have and all these things just getting higher, like piled up higher and higher. And it's really nice that, again, when you're not feeling good, or you're having a bad day, to open it up and read something, like pull out something, a good memory, or something that funny, something that happened that made you really happy. Because then you're shifting your thinking, and you're going from being sad or upset to being happy. And by going from sad and upset to happy, you're shifting your entire thought process. You're getting yourself out of the negative thinking, and you're bringing yourself into the positive thinking. And then when you're doing gratitude, whether you're writing a note to somebody or you're doing a gratitude journal, when you're doing these things, yeah, you might be thinking about things that happened in the past, but it's actually bringing you here into the present. And doing that will help you to remain focused on the here and now, and the things that are important to you, the people that are important to you. And you can stop worrying about things that really aren't that important. And, things, and keeping track of all the things that you're truly grateful for will make you realize just how blessed your life truly is. And, how wonderful your life really, really is. We have a tendency to lose sight of that. And, our mind always tells us that there's all this negative stuff going on, and, you're nothing, you're no one. I was talking to somebody yesterday. She had somebody yell at her on the phone. And this person told her that she wasn't anybody. She didn't make any money for the organization that she worked for. So because she didn't make any money, she was a nobody. And I was like, okay, look, that person was acting irrationally. A lot of people don't understand that there are people behind the scenes that are keeping everything running. They're the glue that holds everything together. And I was like, you can't let somebody else dictate your thoughts. You can. So, she started questioning herself, questioning her abilities, and really feeling bad about the job that she was doing. And I said, you got to stop thinking like that, because you truly are an amazing person. And, we're all grateful to have you, for you to be doing what you're doing. And that really made her feel better. And so, you know, not listening to all of this negative stuff that your brain has a tendency to do, because I think what she was saying in her head was probably 10 times worse than what the guy said to her on the phone. So, we can't let our heads go to the negative places. Or if our heads do go to the negative places, we have to do something to get our head out of the negative place. And just making that shift from negative to positive will shift your entire paradigm, and then you'll go right into positive and you'll stay positive. But you have to be mindful, and you have to pay attention, and you have to look and listen to your thoughts. You have to actually be aware of what's going on, so that when these thoughts do come up, or when you start, going off the path of positivity into the path of negativity, which right now during COVID, with all the things that are going on the television and social media, it's super, super easy to just get caught up in all the negativity. Shift, do whatever you can to shift. Turn off the TV. Stop getting on Facebook. Stop getting on Instagram. The people that are posting all the stuff that you don't want to see, you can snooze them for 30 days. At the end of 30 days, hopefully, we'll all be back to doing whatever we were doing before, and, life will continue. It might not be the same as what it was before. It might. Maybe we're just all going to pick up and go right back to exactly where we were. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. This whole thing is crazy and completely unprecedented. But every time that you feel yourself, or you notice yourself, or you recognize yourself going down that path of negativity, going down the path that's dark, turn on the light. Just turn on the light. It's just as simple as that. It sounds really hard, but it's not. The hardest part is recognizing that you're doing it, because sometimes it can be hours before you're like, oh, wait a minute. I really don't have to listen to this. I can choose something else. I can choose a different thought. I can choose a different feeling. I can choose to be happy, and I can choose to actually do something positive with my life, instead of sitting here moping around going, woe is me, poor me. There's so many more things, more productive things that you could do with your time. Write a book. I did. It only took me 2.5 years. Then I struggled like crazy, but I did it, and I self-published. So that is another story for another day. But that's what I want to share with you today. Just try to stay positive. I know it's a struggle sometimes. I know it's a struggle. And, all you can do is all you can do. Just remember that I'm here for you. If, you feel like you need to talk to somebody, please reach out on Facebook Messenger. I am happy to talk to you and help you through whatever it is that you're struggling with, and, help you to figure out a way that would work for you to turn your thoughts around, to shift your thoughts, to help you to live a more joyful life. So until next week, it's been fun. You guys stay safe and stay healthy.